training programs way ahead of time, like 6 months ahead of where we usually do.
So what I want to do is just do a review of where we're at, make it a short meeting this evening, and see where we want to go from here. We talked about the composting action plan, Catherine. That's basically where it was last month. Is that correct?
Donnie needs to talk to the company in Exeter in order to set up the appointment to look at locations in town, and he was going to survey the different businesses to see who would be interested.
Okay, so that's something different, and he's going to survey different businesses in town.
Yeah, it would be ones like the hospital that has a cafeteria, the schools, the shop and say big ones that would have a lot of items that could be composted. That's heavy weight out of the tonnage. If it didn't cost as much as what we pay now for disposal, would save the town money.
Okay, hospitals.
If it was the same, it still would be good because we would be composting.
Okay, so he's going to follow up on that as soon as he can. I know he's right out straight.
I know, he's got hundreds of items to do. Like
all we can do is the best we can. None of us are miracle workers. Can't be in 6 places at once, even though there are people that would like us to be. It isn't possible. Unless we're quadruplets with twins to boot.
That would be kind of scary.
That would be kind of scary. 6 people act like me in this world would be a scary thing. All right, school system contacts we talked about. That's ongoing.
Yes, and that's been very difficult because the schools are under so much pressure now with having to go through all the classes, and now they're trying to figure out how to set up their school year in the future. So they don't know what the school will look like. So even though we have contacts, that's about it. In terms of going into the schools, we're not even sure how it's going to be set up.
Okay, so all we can do is follow up on that as they get more familiar with how their schooling is going to be structured. We'll just work with that.
Yes, no, I'm sure you remember the first time that I went into the school system when we did the Arbor Day activities, and we went out to plant a tree, and the students were all jumping around, all excited, clapping and everything. We won't be doing that anymore.
Not for a while. Hopefully someday. The news said last night there was a thing on there, there's a promising thing for a vaccine. It looks like it's going to really be good. So hopefully that comes to fruition.
Yes.
Video clips and information, we touched on that last time. As time permits, we can do some video clips and put them on Facebook.
That was again going to be Donnie talking to Jane Woodwork to see if she wanted to do something, because she and her husband did a good job on those town tours that they did for the bicentennial, to see if she would be interested in doing a few video clips with Donnie. He can talk about a subject and in just a short clip, and then we can put it on Facebook, we can put it on the town website. I think we have a YouTube station, but people do need to sign up for that, so that's not as used as much as most towns don't use the YouTube station. But if you do a YouTube video, you can put it in different documents. Gary Jordan knows how to do that.
Yeah, and that can wind up on the town's site.
Yes.
Town's website, YouTube, etc. Okay. Town brochures on recycling successes. Again, that's an ongoing thing as time goes by, depending on how we come on some of these projects.
Yeah, it's still on hold because we're not supposed to be giving out papers and a lot of things that people touch. So we've kept everything is covered up upstairs. All of our displays have plastic over them. So we just updated that in the computer, but we haven't updated it for the public.
On hold due to COVID-19.
We can probably put it on the website instead.
Maybe put it on the website.
Yeah, put town brochure on the website.
Okay. Like I said, I'll do some notes on this before next meeting. Adult education and other types of classes, again, that's an ongoing issue. It's an ongoing thing with Donnie and with the school system. Again, they don't know how they're going to be structured just yet, so we'll continue to work on it as the schools, just figure out, social distancing, how much they're gonna be open and that sort of thing. Right now, it's kind of still iffy, but, adult ed ongoing.
We're down to our favorite one.
Reuse center, we talked about the summer plans. We're still waiting on when things get freed up enough so that Donnie's crew can go down there and purge.
Yep.
And then from there, last I know he was gonna contact you, Deanna,
Right.
and, set up a time to purge, and then, we talked about having, on an as-needed basis, if somebody's got a thing, to call him and we can get down and use it. They mentioned it at the council meeting about having certain days to do this, or a certain amount of people or whatever, but I think myself with this COVID-19, I don't know how you guys feel, but I think it's a case-by-case basis. How do you feel?
Mhm. So the purging, this is the perfect time to do the purging.
Right.
Perfect. Because they can go over there, clean out what needs to be cleaned out, and then that leaves it freed up after like 3 days. You all can go down, you and your friends, and volunteers, and go in and move things around, figure out what you want to do. Because once you've got past a few days, it should be fine to touch stuff. And then they're not going to touch everything anyway. They're going to take away some items.
I didn't notice that there's a exerciser bike down from the door.
Somebody just dropped it off.
Dropped it off.
Okay.
So maybe if we could keep more stuff outside, it would go faster.
Some bigger stuff, maybe.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll keep working on that, and I know that right now things are very busy.
They are, yeah.
But we will try to do the best we can. I mean, we really need his guys to go in and purge that before we do anything different.
Purging is the first thing, and
And
then,
then cleaning it.
yeah, and then we wouldn't advertise that people could drop things off and make appointments until it was purged, because we'll have a whole bunch of
Right.
people run down.
Yeah, then we can advertise afterwards.
Yeah, and it would be ideal if people had items they wanted to donate, we set up a time for them.
If it's
Yeah, and then,
warm in the fall, maybe we can
Or
run
even-
longer.
even later this summer, you could get items brought in by appointment and just have them bring them in, you would supervise it, and then leave them there for a few days, and then you can work on them.
Now, what did the council mention about that? Do you remember? A couple suggestions that were made.
Appointments.
You know, like they want to know how many and what days. I just think what it is I think what they should do is once it's purged and clean, then they call and Donnie and Deanna set up a case by case.
Yeah, it's a case by case.
That way you don't have 6 people coming in one day and none coming in for
Correct.
4. And,
There's no way that you would be able to set up a schedule that people would follow for the reuse building if they want to go in and get things. Now, if they want to drop them off, it would be easier, but I think you have to schedule them apart from each other, because people have a tendency, not to show up at the exact time, and then you'd have too many people there trying to drop things off, and no social
Right.
distancing.
and some of that stuff, it depends on what it is, what you want to drop off. An exercise bike that gets rained isn't too bad. Somebody drops off, which you're not supposed to, but say somebody drops off a toaster, when it gets wet, well, granted, you don't want electronics there anyway, but you know what I mean. There's things that you don't want to get ruined.
Right.
So I
case
think
by-
we really have to do case by case, because if let's say we advertise and say, this is the schedule, you can sign up. It'll just be a confusing item. I think they gotta call, get the appointment set, do it case by case.
Okay. I agree. I think, are you comfortable with that, Deanna? I
Yeah.
am. Okay. Recycling trailer, we already discussed that last time. That's ongoing.
Yes, we'll be happy when it comes back, and so will many elderly ladies and gentlemen. They like to go to the trailer, not to the transfer station.
That's due to come back anytime now, right?
He had indicated he would try to bring it back, but, things are getting better overall in the state. But we need some sort of camera set up because we don't want the same things to happen again.
So it's a project he's working on then.
Mhm.
Currently he's working on it. Donnie is working on it. Of course, we talked about the transfer station fee schedules, and did anybody have any questions about any of that? Because it's
So
still the
on
same.
that, we were up to over 130 new transfer station passes. So that was after 2 advertisements, so I haven't checked the book since then. But instead of advertising every other week in the Rolling Thunder, I'm just gonna advertise every week. And then that way I can say I advertised 5 times, in the Rolling Thunder, as well as on the town website and Facebook page. And, beyond that, some people aren't gonna be able to get in that Saturday, in August, from August 1, when we open up there. We sent the schedule out to all the known contractors.
Okay. And town website. So everybody's aware of it. Okay, we talked about now trash to treasure days. Really, we're kind of stuck on that this year because it's pretty much done. We talked about possibly setting things out.
And that was an idea that some of the counselors had, or one of the counselors had. You're encouraging people to go to other people's yards, and I mean, if people want to do this on their own, that's fine, but if we advertise a big trash to treasure day, I'm not sure whether there'll be too much intermingling or not. I think it might be okay.
Okay. When was that due?
We used to have that in April and October.
In October, so we still got some time.
Mm-hmm. We could plan one in October.
Okay. Plan one in October. Okay.
It was planned,
We may be in a different situation by then, maybe
Yes.
a little bit less
Yes.
restrictive.
Yep, this is true.
The textile box, Donnie had updated the council on that. That may happen by the end of this month. He's not positive yet, but if I remember correctly.
Yeah, KB cog will advise when they're all set to go. We're one of the 12 towns that signed up for it. So the boxes for the company to take away the textiles free of charge would be heavy items that were in reasonably good condition, that were textiles. And so they will put out a press release, and so this would get these heavy items out of the and items that we have no place to take out of the waste stream.
Mm-hmm. Any questions? Arts program, we discussed that. If that gets off the ground, Donnie is willing to work with Deborah with that, and all she has to do is give him a list of materials, and he'll look around, and if he needs some assistance from us to get it, we can do that as well. And we'll see how that goes. That's a work in progress that may or may not happen in the future.
Yeah, that one would take a while because the program would need to be designed, and you need to have interaction with the students. So we have to be a little bit past the COVID-19. You can
Correct.
plan it during it, but
Yeah. And Maine Recyclables Week
that will be coming up in November.
in November.
I think it's usually the third week in November, third full week in November.
So we can work on that, and that's in November. So we can work on doing something for that when we come back in the fall.
Of course, we might be able to do trash to treasure with that. Maybe we can combine.
Maybe combine those. That's a good idea. Okay. Deanna, did you have anything that you wanted to put out there? You wanted questions on, or you wanted to discuss? Or?
I'm just waiting for.
Dina wants to leave her house and go someplace.
No,
I've
I've been right there, except for going to Bud's.
No, I know.
Groceries.
Yeah, I come here, go to Buzz and Rite Aid or Walgreens, and that's it.
Right, does anybody else, do you have anything you wanted to put in, Catherine?
Meeting schedule?
I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think that we, personally, myself, I think we should skip August. Let people get a chance to get caught up. Because the purge can happen anytime,
Anyway,
and
yeah.
if it happens, it happens. I mean, how do you feel about that, Dan? You good to wait until September?
Right.
And maybe we'll be in a little bit better place.
Get organized and started, and
Yeah, I think
if
the
it
purge
holds
is a
up
big thing.
long,
Yeah. I'm just as happy to skip August and let Donnie get caught up, let the reuse thing get caught up, and then start planning what we can do for the trash to treasure and the manual cycles. We can give us something to work on.
So in September, when do we want to meet? August we'll skip, we'll do the recycling brochures online. We will do plus we'll have the transfer station fee schedule ongoing for August. We will do the purging and notify people. And then we can advertise, times for people to call Donnie, so he can coordinate with Dina for when people are gonna bring things over.
Okay. So, do you guys like the third Wednesday in September, or is that too late, Catherine? What do you think?
I am looking right now. All right, if it's the third, it will miss the holidays, so that's fine.
Okay,
The
what
rest of
day
the
is that?
year.
What day is that on, Catherine?
All right, that will be September 16th.
Wednesday, September 16th.
And then after that will be October 21. Then November 18
Okay.
and December 16th. So by doing that, you miss all holidays.
Okay. Are you good with that, Deanna, or?
that sounds good.
Okay.
Yep, so that's 9, 16, 10, 21, 11, 18, and 12, 16.
Okay. I'm all good with that.
That sounds good.
Okay.
And then in August, our project will be purging the facility there.
All right. Anybody got anything else that they want to add to this? They want to discuss before we close the meeting?
Well, looking forward to going to the reuse building.
Okay. All right. Then I guess we'll close the meeting if nobody objects. Everybody all good with that?
So I'll send an update out to the committee members that were working and unable to attend.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Deanna, for coming. I know it was fairly short, but we just needed to touch base and update on where we're at. That's all.
So how many volunteers do you have that will help you, Dina?
Right now, 4.
4?
And so,
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is give you, I will call you when we're ready to do the volunteer forms before you go down, because we had to, for the insurance company, add the COVID-19 in. We had to do that for the swimming program, all the recreation programs, the election, everything. So I have to do that for the volunteer forms.
Okay.
So I'll do that into the forms and
No.
get that to you.
Faye said she's ready
Who
to
is?
start again.
Good.
Yeah, because once you get some items in there, I mean, you don't even need to know when the items, the people are gonna drop it out, they can just drop it off, and somebody from Donnie's staff oversees it, and then once you get 3 or 4 people down there with stuff, he can call you, and once it's at least 3 days past that, you can go in and work on it. Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you,
But
folks.
that'll be exciting times.
I understand Donnie's been caught.
It sounds very busy.
Yeah, he has over 100 projects. Isn't that something?
I
Thank you.
don't know.
How are you?
Len has carriage and takes.
And on the party boat, they sold the party boat too.
I got it in February.
Oh, okay.
But my 2 business partners down in John.
I got you.
You missed the presentation last.
Came down from Millinocket.
Yeah,
you should. I was
I got the.
I'm thinking of a different game.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not letting.
Yes, she said she's on her way.
Is it fully occupied, or are you seeing a migration?
She goes back and forth, and I never really know.
I'm gonna get snow right now. My summer job.
But I don't have to be separated.
It's 72 low.
Well, 72 out of 100, that's
Oh, come on.
kind of model.
No, I can't do that to her.
Half full or a little more instead of fill. You can lock a lot of real estate value that way. They appraise the mobile home park just by how many lots there are that are rented. They have to vote. You're working for it, so they, when you're doing the park, empty lot is zero. It isn't really zero, but
Yeah.
you feel like. Sure enough.
Who are you expecting on Zoom? Who are you expecting on Zoom? Like Colin? A while back, yes, pandemic stuff. Read a couple of articles.
I see Collmore back to your shirt, are you a Collmore?
I am a Collmore, but not related really.
I hadn't really thought about it ever since, because I think it was in the 25 when the also.
So my now ex-husband's family is from,
Yeah.
Waldeboro.
Yeah.
Possible. I know there's two families that are down there,
Representative.
but I don't know.